All right, it's Tuesday, January 28th. Bought some SPY 595 calls here at 848. I'm buying it here as we're breaking through the first bar high. I think it was probably a good buy on this red to green move here, two down, two up. I'll explain that in a minute. But even buying it here as we kind of confirm the up structure in the morning above the first bar high, I think there's targets, to the pre-market highs up in here. There's one little pivot here and there's one here. So I'm looking for a good trade. It's an interesting week unfolding that we gapped down big, immediately brought in buying yesterday. So if we're going, just from yesterday, we have the green bar up. You're kind of expecting that high to be taken out. And the first move down was just to the midpoint of that bar before it reversed higher. So that's kind of in line with what you expected to happen. The question here is on the weekly chart, on this two down week that immediately gapped down and started up above the open, are we heading down to try to take out lower lows of this green bar, as the week goes on? On day one, you didn't know for sure, even though we closed green, what was going to unfold with the 4 days left in the week. As we get to day two and it's starting to move up back into that range of the previous week, it's looking more and more less likely that this two down bar is going to, start working way down here somewhere, but it's possible. And the reference point now is we got to get below this open in order to really confirm, that we're heading lower, and it might happen. I mean, maybe today we don't follow through all that much. We're filling in this gap. At some point, we get a major reversal, come back through the midpoint of the first bar of the 15-minute chart, and test these lows again. But for now, what's going to happen here is we're going to have to get some kind of a failure on today, or if not, then kind of a two up, two down day tomorrow, Wednesday, that then works towards the open and turns the weekly chart red. And that's kind of the guidance now as the week goes on, 2 days into the week. For now, we have a two up day, and as far as I'm concerned, we're heading higher because we have targets above here in the pre-market range. And if we can get all the way up there, that looks more and more likely like this day is going to stay strong. But again, you never know. But once you see that two strong green days in a row, it's possible that this gap down just brought in buying and we're resuming the uptrend overall. So the reference points to turn this thing negative as each day goes on. That's why time is important. You get to get a feeling for how this week seems to be closing, later in the week. And for now, we're strongly green 2 days into the week, but we're still below the midpoint of the prior week. So I guess that's my reference here on the way up. As we take out this, hopefully, this pre-market highs here, which I think is the target on this trade, we're only at the midpoint of that prior week, and that's a key point. Do we really hold there? It's a good pause area for sure, but are we going to hold there and then work all the way up higher and get back to those highs, or is that going to be the beginning of a failure, which would have to be a two up, kind of two down day? So with all that in mind, those are all the reference points. That's the way I'm viewing this week unfolding. But for now, buying calls here either on the red to green move early, or when I did, I think looks to be a good base hit kind of gain to this target up here, which it's getting to now. And we'll see what develops from there.